Right, welcome to not over a cuppa, so to speak, and there's been some changes, some major changes going on, and I wanted to just sort of update you. Firstly, Over a Cuppa was never supposed to be a weekly broadcast, so don't expect it to be a weekly broadcast. Secondly, you can expect it to mainly be midweek, because if it's going to happen, I'm going to wait until I've got the weigh-in results and all that sort of stuff before I talk about anything. But mainly, it will only happen if there's something sort of majorly to discuss health-wise, because that's sort of what it was set up for. In the same way, we can forget sort of some of these things of the week. For a start, I've noticed that they're not travelling very well, are these salads, and some of them are atrocious. They're really, really vulgar to taste. So, I've decided that I'm dropping the salad altogether. And I'm replacing that with something else on an afternoon, so we can forget salad of the week forever. Teas of the week, yes, okay, but only on the weeks where I'm actually, doing a broadcast. And the same goes with the sort of mixed fruit and dried fruit or whatever. Now, how am I affording this? This is quite important, because those things are not necessarily very cheap. And here's the thing, I have discovered that if I cut out a lot of stuff that I was having before, with the takeaways, but it's not just the takeaways. People think that, I used to limit myself to one takeaway a month, but excluded from that were, for example, on a Friday night when I used to go for a takeaway, and I never used to consider it a takeaway really, because it's what I did every day, and it's what I'd done every week for years and years and years. The same goes for after work, on a Saturday when I used to go to Greg's and have lunch there, and I didn't take that into consideration as being, a takeaway either. The point is that if I can remove all of these things and replace them with cheaper ways of eating, which is quite easy because these things are extremely expensive, then I actually free up money to be able to go travelling and visiting places, and I free up money to be able to plug them into buying, a new 50 bag of tea bags or whatever every week, which is, £2 or £3. But that's not even the cost of one of those Friday nights or one of those lunches at Greg's. Do you see what I mean? So you get the extra sort of finance coming from that. So don't go thinking because I'm doing more things that I've suddenly fallen into money and I'm not telling anyone, or that I'm actually lying about the state of my finances, because it's not true. But what I am doing is finding that if I move things around, I can free money that is not serving its purpose in helping me, and put that to better use. So I think that's about all, except to say that I'm also trialling out a 4-week meal plan in terms of what I generally get. I microwave meals, for example, they are pretty cheap, they are easy to cook, and they are small. The portions are small. So I've got a week of them. Week 2 is meat week, because one of the things that I'm trying to do is sort of up my protein levels as I drop the carbohydrate levels, but meat is quite expensive, so I'm having to get it, the meat that's on special offer, which often means that it's not prepared or anything. I have to cook it myself. That takes up more time in preparation, if that makes sense. You can't just stick it in a microwave for 2 minutes or whatever. You actually have to stand there for 10 minutes whilst you're grilling it or whatever. The third week is mainly stir-fry week, because that's quick and simple, and it's also sort of it's not going to harm my eating my weight one way or another. And the final week is the mixed week, where I might get like sort of something on rice. I might get a fish dish. I might get something like that. It adds variance to it. So I'm not eating the same thing every sort of day or week in, week out. And hopefully that's going to help add a little bit of difference to things, to stop me wanting to eat extra. and hopefully it's going to balance out. So, you know, I might have a cheap week with the microwave meals, and then a more expensive week with the meat, but it balances itself out, you know. That's what I'm hoping, but obviously I'm going to have to see, I'm going to have to test that over the next couple of weeks. I started last week, so, sorry, the week before really, so I'm on to my third week, and I want to go through it, you know, once or twice before I assess if there is any sort of, if it is making any difference. At the moment I'm still losing £1 a week, which is not bad because the past couple of weeks have been horrendous with changing everything, with reorganising my life, you know, changing hours and all that sort of stuff. It's been a right hassle, and when that happens I am liable to, you know, focus on things that are, not things that are important, but things that are, I'm less likely to be as strict, I think, on diet and stuff like that. So I'm glad to see that that hasn't really affected this. So that's it for this week, and when we have another Over a Cuppa, or not Over a Cuppa, I don't know. But hopefully this broadcast will serve more of a purpose rather than being a sort of addition to a blog, which is not what it was supposed to be and not what I'm going to make it. And that's it.